New Year's Eve celebrates fresh starts and past traditions, including dishes once central to celebrations. From gelatin molds to lavish roasts, let's explore 25 abandoned meals and why they faded. Jellied meat loaves. Do you remember flipping through vintage cookbooks at your grandmother's house, marveling at the perfectly sculpted gelatin molds? In the 1950s and 60s, jellied meat loaves were the centerpiece of New Year's celebrations. Combining cold cuts with savory gelatin, this dish was a true work of culinary art. Its layered appearance was admired, often taking center stage on a holiday table. But beneath the surface lay a divisive texture, one that didn't win everyone over. As times changed, so did tastes. Fresh ingredients and simpler presentations became the norm, leaving jellied meat loaves in the past. Interestingly, these molds were a reflection of the era's fascination with modern kitchen technology and creative food styling. Today, they're a nostalgic relic, perfect for a retro-themed party, but unlikely to make a comeback. Can you imagine your guests' reaction if this dish appeared on your New Year's table today? Aspic-covered vegetables. Bright, shimmering, and intricate, aspic-covered vegetables were once a status symbol on New Year's menus. Think of molded gelatin filled with peas, carrots, and other vibrant veggies, truly a feast for the eyes. In the mid-20th century, this dish was considered sophisticated, a way to elevate ordinary ingredients into something extraordinary. But the cold, jelly-like texture wasn't for everyone, and as fresh, vibrant salads took over, vegetable aspics began to fade into obscurity. What makes this dish so fascinating is its connection to the cultural trends of the time. People loved experimenting with new techniques and presentation styles, especially with the rise of refrigeration. Today, while vegetable aspics might pop up at retro-themed gatherings, they feel more like a quirky blast from the past than a viable menu option. Have you ever tried one? Or is it just an amusing memory from old family photos? Boiled tongue. Imagine a holiday spread featuring boiled tongue as a centerpiece. For many mid-century households, it wasn't just a delicacy, it was a tradition. Prepared with care and served alongside rich sauces, tongue offered a surprisingly tender, flavorful experience. Yet, its preparation and appearance made it a hard sell to modern palates. While it remains a staple in certain cuisines, boiled tongue has largely disappeared from New Year's tables. Interestingly, this dish reflected an era where no part of the animal went to waste, a practical approach born of necessity but celebrated for its resourcefulness. Despite its decline, tongue dishes are still enjoyed in niche settings or by those seeking authentic culinary traditions. Have you ever wondered what made this dish such a staple back then? It's a reminder of how tastes evolve, even for meals that once defined celebration and prosperity. Candle salad. Do you remember those playful desserts from family gatherings, where food seemed more about fun than flavor? Candle salad, a quirky creation of pineapple rings, bananas, and maraschino cherries, was a hit at mid-20th century holiday parties. Its design mimicked a candle, complete with whipped cream as the flame. This kid-friendly dish symbolized the light-hearted spirit of the era when culinary creativity knew no bounds. However, as tastes shifted toward more refined and less sugary desserts, candle salad's charm began to fade. It now exists as a nostalgic relic, occasionally making an appearance at retro-themed dinners. Interestingly, its appeal wasn't just about flavor. It was about engaging families with whimsical food presentations. Imagine serving this today. It might elicit laughs or fond memories of simpler times. What other quirky dishes from your childhood bring back the magic of festive gatherings? Liver mousse. Liver mousse was once a staple on elegant New Year's spreads, a symbol of sophistication and indulgence. This smooth and luxurious appetizer paired perfectly with crackers or toast, making it a go-to choice for celebratory gatherings. Its strong flavor catered to adventurous palates, while its creamy texture exuded decadence. However, as concerns about cholesterol rose and lighter, fresher options became trendy. Liver mousse began to fall out of favor. Today, spreads like hummus or avocado dips dominate party tables, reflecting modern health-conscious lifestyles. Yet, liver mousse remains a symbol of its time, a period when indulgence and bold flavors defined festive dining. Did you know that liver mousse was once considered a sign of culinary skill, requiring precise preparation techniques? Revisiting it today offers a glimpse into a past where opulence ruled New Year's celebrations. Stuffed celery with cheese spread. Do you recall nibbling on crunchy celery sticks stuffed with creamy cheese or peanut butter at holiday parties? This quick and simple snack was a favorite on New Year's platters, offering a satisfying blend of textures. Whether filled with pimento cheese or topped with olives, stuffed celery was both practical and crowd-pleasing. Over time, however, its humble charm was overshadowed by the rise of charcuterie boards featuring artisan cheeses, meats, and crackers. Stuffed celery now feels like a nostalgic snack, evoking memories of family gatherings where simplicity reigned. Interestingly, this dish gained popularity during an era of practicality in entertaining, when hosts focused on convenience and affordability. Today, while it's rarely seen on holiday menus, it remains a nostalgic nod to mid-20th century celebrations. Would it surprise you to see stuffed celery making a comeback in modern gatherings, where retro foods are trending once again? Mock turtle soup. Imagine a time when turtle soup was considered a luxurious delicacy, symbolizing abundance and celebration. For those who couldn't afford the real thing, mock turtle soup was the perfect alternative. Using veal, beef, or even calf's head, this hearty soup mimicked the flavor and texture of its exotic inspiration. Its rich, comforting taste made it a popular choice for New Year's dinners in the 19th and early 20th centuries. However, as culinary tastes evolved, the novelty of this dish waned, and its labor-intensive preparation didn't help its survival. Did you know that this soup inspired Lewis Carroll's character, the Mock Turtle, in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Today, it stands as a nostalgic relic of the past, offering a glimpse into a time when resourcefulness met extravagance. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to bring this dish back to your holiday table? Ambrosia salad. Close your eyes and picture a dessert table piled high with brightly colored bowls of ambrosia salad. This sweet concoction, made with canned fruits, marshmallows, and whipped cream, was a New Year's favorite in mid-century America. Its name, Ambrosia, evokes the food of the gods, making it feel special for festive occasions. The salad's easy preparation and crowd-pleasing sweetness made it a staple for family celebrations. However, as fresher, less sugary fruit-based desserts gained popularity, ambrosia salad began to feel outdated. It now lives on as a nostalgic reminder of simpler times when convenience and vibrant colors dominated holiday menus. Did you know this dish was often tailored to personal tastes, with some families adding coconut or nuts for an extra twist? Today, ambrosia salad may not grace many tables, but its charm lies in the warm memories it sparks. Lobster Thermidor. Picture a grand New Year's Eve dinner in the mid-20th century, with lobster thermidor as the centerpiece. This decadent dish featured tender lobster meat in a creamy wine and mustard sauce, baked to perfection with a golden breadcrumb crust. It symbolized luxury and sophistication, perfect for ringing in the new year in style. However, the complexity of preparing lobster thermidor, along with its high cost, led to its gradual decline in popularity. Simpler seafood dishes like grilled lobster tails or shrimp cocktails have since taken its place on modern menus. Interestingly, the dish was named after the French Revolutionary month of Thermidor, giving it a unique historical twist. Have you ever tried recreating such a show-stopping meal, or do you prefer the convenience of today's lighter seafood recipes? While it's rare to see lobster thermidor today, it remains a symbol of festive opulence. Fruitcake. Fruitcake. Just hearing the name might bring back memories of holiday gatherings or evoke a laugh about its infamous reputation. Once a cherished New Year's treat, fruitcake was a symbol of prosperity. Packed with candied fruits, nuts, and soaked in liquor, it could be made weeks in advance, lasting well into the new year thanks to its impressive shelf life. However, its dense texture and overly sweet flavor turned it into a polarizing dish. Over time, as lighter desserts like cheesecakes and pavlovas became trendy, fruitcake began to feel outdated. Did you know that fruitcake dates back to ancient Rome, where it included pomegranate seeds and barley mash? Its longevity as a tradition speaks volumes about its historical importance, but today, it's often remembered as a running holiday joke. Would you ever consider reviving this classic dessert, or does it belong in the annals of forgotten foods? Crown roast. A showstopper of any New Year's feast, the crown roast was the epitome of celebration. Often made with pork or lamb, Its unique circular presentation adorned with paper frills symbolized grandeur and abundance. The centerpiece of a holiday table, it was both a visual and culinary delight. However, its high cost and intricate preparation have led to its decline in popularity. Modern New Year's menus now lean toward more practical and affordable options, like roasted chicken or ham, which require less effort while still pleasing a crowd. Interestingly, the crown roast's origin lies in medieval feasts, where its impressive presentation was a display of wealth and status. Can you imagine serving such a dramatic dish today? While it may not appear on many contemporary tables, it remains a nostalgic reminder of a time when food was as much about spectacle as taste. Creamed onions. Do you remember the buttery, rich aroma of creamed onions wafting through a holiday kitchen? This indulgent side dish was once a staple of New Year's meals, especially in mid-20th century America. Made with pearl onions cooked in a velvety cream sauce, it added a luxurious touch to celebratory dinners. However, the effort of peeling small onions, combined with the dish's heaviness, eventually caused it to lose its appeal. Today, lighter vegetable dishes like roasted Brussels sprouts or green beans have taken its place on holiday menus. Did you know that creamed onions were originally popular in Victorian England, where they symbolized warmth and comfort during winter feasts? Though less common now, they still evoke nostalgia for those who remember them fondly. Would you ever revisit this forgotten classic, or does its richness feel out of place in modern celebrations? Oysters Rockefeller. Do you remember the allure of a New Year's table adorned with oysters Rockefeller, their golden breadcrumb topping glistening under candlelight? This sophisticated appetizer was once the height of luxury, featuring oysters baked with butter, herbs, and a savory breadcrumb crust. Its name, Rockefeller, symbolized opulence, referring to the wealth of John D. Rockefeller himself. However, as palates shifted toward lighter, simpler dishes, raw oysters with a splash of lemon and mignonette began to dominate seafood menus. Oysters Rockefeller's labor-intensive preparation and rich flavors made it a less practical option for modern celebrations. Fun fact: the original recipe, created in New Orleans in 1899, remains a closely guarded secret to this day. Despite its decline, Oysters Rockefeller still holds a place in culinary history as an emblem of extravagant entertaining. Would you try your hand at recreating this dish, or is its elegance best left in the past? Pickled pig's feet. Pickled pig's feet, with their tangy flavor and gelatinous texture, were once a celebratory dish steeped in tradition. In many cultures, they symbolized prosperity and resilience, making them a fitting addition to New Year's tables. Often served cold and sliced, they were beloved for their unique taste and connection to heritage. However, as diets shifted toward leaner proteins and more accessible flavors, pickled pig's feet began to fade from mainstream celebrations. Today, they are mostly confined to specialty markets or regional cuisines, holding a niche appeal for those seeking authentic, old-world recipes. Did you know that pig's feet were considered a thrifty delicacy, often featured in households that embraced a waste-not mentality? For some, they remain a nostalgic treat, while for others, they evoke memories of stories passed down through generations. Would you try this traditional dish, or does it belong firmly in the past? Baked Alaska. Picture the drama of a New Year's dinner where the lights dimmed and a baked Alaska was brought to the table, its flaming exterior dazzling the crowd. This show-stopping dessert, made with layers of sponge cake, ice cream, and meringue, was the ultimate statement of culinary skill and celebration. Its ability to withstand the heat of a flambé added to its mystique. However, the time and skill required to prepare baked Alaska contributed to its decline in popularity. As simpler, more accessible desserts like molten lava cakes and tiramisu took center stage, this iconic treat became a rare indulgence. Did you know that baked Alaska was created to celebrate the U.S. acquisition of Alaska in 1867? While it's seldom seen on modern New Year's menus, it remains a nostalgic nod to an era when desserts were as much about performance as taste. Would you bring it back to impress your guests? Deviled ham dip. Can you picture a mid-century New Year's party with trays of crackers and bowls of creamy deviled ham dip? This smoky, rich spread was a crowd pleaser, offering a savory punch that paired perfectly with vegetable sticks or toast. Its simplicity and bold flavor made it a staple appetizer for decades. However, as people began favoring fresh, less processed foods, deviled ham dip fell out of favor. Modern party spreads now feature dips like guacamole, hummus, or spinach artichoke, which are seen as healthier and more versatile options. Did you know that the term deviled originally referred to the zesty spices used in such recipes? While deviled ham dip may feel outdated today, it occasionally resurfaces as a nostalgic nod to a simpler time. Imagine reviving it for a retro-themed party. Would it be a hit or a quirky conversation starter? Caviar stuffed eggs. Caviar stuffed eggs once epitomized elegance at upscale New Year's parties. This luxurious twist on the classic deviled egg added a touch of decadence, with creamy yolk filling topped by briny caviar pearls. It wasn't just food, it was a statement of sophistication. However, as tastes shifted towards simpler appetizers and caviar's expense became a deterrent, this dish slowly disappeared from most menus. Today, caviar is more likely to be found on blinis or toast points, leaving caviar stuffed eggs as a forgotten luxury. Fun fact: the popularity of deviled eggs dates back to ancient Rome, but this gourmet variation was a product of mid-20th century culinary creativity. While it may no longer grace New Year's tables, it remains a nostalgic symbol of festive extravagance. Could you imagine serving these at a modern gathering, or are they better left as a relic of culinary history? Gelatin ring mold with fruit. Do you recall family celebrations with a brightly colored gelatin ring mold as the centerpiece of the dessert table? This jiggly creation, filled with suspended fruit pieces, was a visual delight and a crowd favorite during New Year's parties in the mid-20th century. Its playful appearance made it especially appealing to children. However, as homemade desserts with fresh ingredients became the norm, gelatin molds began to feel overly processed and outdated. Today, they are more of a kitschy throwback than a practical dessert. Did you know that gelatin molds were once a symbol of status, as they required refrigeration, a luxury for many families in the early 1900s? While their popularity has waned, they remain an iconic reminder of a time when food presentation was just as important as flavor. Would you bring back a gelatin mold for nostalgia's sake, or does it belong to the past? Herring salad. Herring salad was once a staple on New Year's tables, especially in Scandinavian and Eastern European households. This vibrant dish, made with pickled herring, potatoes, and beets, was celebrated not only for its tangy, satisfying flavors, but also for its symbolic meaning. Herring, considered a silver fish, was thought to bring good fortune and abundance for the year ahead. The bright pink hue from the beets made it visually striking, a dish that demanded attention at any feast. However, as global tastes became more homogenized, herring salad began to fade outside its cultural roots. Today, it's a nostalgic specialty, cherished by those who grew up with it, but less likely to appear at mainstream celebrations. Did you know that herring is also a traditional dish in midnight feasts in many cultures? For those who still enjoy it, this dish is a delicious link to tradition and family history. Chipped beef on toast. Imagine a cozy New Year's brunch with plates of chipped beef on toast, often served alongside champagne or Bloody Marys. This humble yet hearty dish, made with dried beef and a creamy sauce over toasted bread, was once a staple for celebrations and comforting winter meals. Its salty, savory flavor made it a crowd pleaser during the mid-20th century. However, as brunch menus expanded and lighter options like avocado toast or yogurt bowls became popular, chipped beef on toast began to fall out of favor. Despite its decline, it remains a nostalgic dish for many, evoking memories of simpler times. Did you know that chipped beef gained popularity during World War II as an affordable and durable ingredient? While it's now a rarity on New Year's menus, it remains a culinary relic of a time when practicality and comfort were key. Raisin stuffed pork, loin. A centerpiece of many celebratory meals, raisin-stuffed pork loin was a sweet, savory delicacy that added elegance to New Year's tables. The juicy pork, combined with the sweetness of raisins and sometimes spices like cinnamon or cloves, created a rich and festive flavor profile. This dish symbolized luxury, as dried fruits were once considered a sign of wealth and indulgence. However, as modern palates shifted toward savory flavors and simpler preparations, the combination of dried fruit and meat became less popular. Today, pork roasts are more likely to feature herbs and spices rather than sweet fillings. Did you know that dishes like this were inspired by medieval European cooking traditions, which often paired meats with fruits? While raisin-stuffed pork loin is rarely seen today, it remains a nostalgic nod to a time when culinary traditions were steeped in symbolism and seasonal abundance. Duck à l'orange. Do you remember Grand New Year's dinners where duck à l'orange stole the show? This French-inspired dish combined the rich flavor of roasted duck with the bright, tangy sweetness of orange sauce, creating a symphony of taste that symbolized sophistication. Its elegant presentation often made it the centerpiece of formal celebrations. However, the labor-intensive preparation and the challenge of balancing flavors caused its popularity to wane. As modern recipes embraced simplicity and quicker cooking times, duck à l'orange became a rarity, now enjoyed primarily by gourmet enthusiasts. Did you know this dish dates back to the 17th century and was a favorite of French royalty? It's a nostalgic nod to a time when elaborate dishes showcased a chef's skill. Would you be tempted to bring back this iconic meal, or does its complexity make it better suited for a bygone era? Trifle with JellO Layers. Picture a dessert table at a mid-century New Year's party, where a bright, multi-layered trifle with JellO cake and whipped cream dazzled guests. These trifles were as much about presentation as flavor, with their colorful layers creating a striking visual display. Easy to make and customizable with various flavors, they became a staple at celebrations. However, as tastes shifted toward fresh fruit and artisan desserts, the use of JellO in trifles declined. Modern versions focus on natural ingredients and refined techniques, leaving the JellO layered trifle as a nostalgic relic of retro dessert trends. Did you know that trifles originated in England in the 16th century as a way to repurpose stale cake? While their JellO-filled descendants may not appear on today's tables, they remain a reminder of the playful and colorful culinary creativity of the mid-20th century. New Year's steamed pudding. Imagine the rich aroma of a steamed pudding, spiced with cinnamon and nutmeg, filling the kitchen on New Year's Eve. This traditional dessert, often packed with dried fruits, was a labor of love that symbolized prosperity and abundance. Its dense texture and long cooking time made it a true centerpiece of the holiday table. However, as modern celebrations moved toward lighter, more convenient desserts like mousses and tarts, steamed puddings began to disappear. Fun fact: the tradition of steamed puddings dates back to Victorian England, where they were considered an essential part of festive meals. Despite their decline, they remain a nostalgic nod to an era when families came together to prepare celebratory feasts. Would you ever consider reviving this time-honored dessert, or does it belong to the days of Dickensian dinners and roaring hearths? Tomato Aspic. Tomato Aspic was the bold, savory counterpart to the sweet gelatin molds of mid-century celebrations. Made with tomato juice, seasonings, and often adorned with vegetables or shrimp, it was a creative addition to New Year's menus. Its intricate molds and vibrant red color made it a visual statement on the table. However, its cold, jelly-like texture and unconventional flavor combination were not universally loved. As tastes shifted toward fresher, more straightforward dishes, tomato aspic faded into culinary obscurity. Did you know that savory gelatin dishes gained popularity in the early 20th century as refrigeration became more widespread? While it's now remembered more as a quirky oddity than a practical dish, tomato aspic remains a fascinating artifact of mid-century dining trends. Would you dare serve it at a modern gathering? Or is it best left as a conversation piece in vintage cookbooks? From jellied meat loaves to baked Alaska, these dishes reflect past traditions and trends. While many are forgotten, they remain nostalgic relics. Which of these would you recreate for New Year's?